The next step is to run accessibility analysis. Now there's two ways to invoke accessibility analysis. First, from the measure ribbon on the below left image, or you can right-click on the segment folder and select accessibility analysis, or you can select just a few features in your segment folder, right-click and select accessibility analysis. And that's in the image over on the right-hand side. There's a new column in the Checkmate programming browser called Probe Accessibility. This is where all the analysis data is stored. You'll want to turn this column on. Now the first thing to understand is that accessibility analysis does not do anything to the physical program. Nothing is moved, nothing is inserted. This is strictly just an analysis. Checkmate determines the best existing probe angle to use for a feature and each of its hits. Now if a feature cannot be measured with any of the existing probe positions that you have in Checkmate, it will be marked as inaccessible. Green is good, red is bad. Now before I show you how to do this in Checkmate, I first want to mention a couple of notes on accessibility analysis. First of all, Checkmate drills down through the position list of probe positions until it finds the first probe position that can measure that feature. Now it may not be the position or positions that you had in mind, or it may not even be the best probe position. It's just going to be the first one that it comes through that works. Therefore, you should put the most common positions of your list near the top of the position list. For example, 90, 0, 90, 180, 90, 90, 90, minus 90. Now a future enhancement that's already in the planning stages will mean that you won't have to worry about this. Checkmate will automatically search for these standard positions first. Secondly, if a feature shows multiple positions within one feature measurement, you may need to move a particular hit of that measurement around. Or you may need to do a convert with construction. Convert with construction, an example would be, say, a cylinder measurement. What that does is it breaks that cylinder measurement down into individual surface hits followed by a construct cylinder at the end. That way you could use different probe positions for the different surface measurements required to take those hits. Okay, so back to Checkmate here. We just got finished sorting for dependencies, so you can see in the programming browser all the datums have been moved to the front of the program and all the feature measurements are below them because they have to be, they're referencing the datums to them. So it's all sorted. So the next thing we want to do is the accessibility analysis. Now before we get started on that, the first thing I want to show you is if we go to the probe ribbon and edit our positions, and I just want to come up and take a look at these. You can see if I scroll down through the positions that I've already got in here on my probe, I've got about 49 positions, quite a few of them. This is my most popular ones up at the beginning here. So when Checkmate performs accessibility analysis, it's going to look through and use all of these positions to perform its analysis. So I'm just going to say OK. Let's go back to the browser over here on the right, and I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup here first. I'm going to move my mouse cursor up to the titles up here. I'm just going to right click and I'm going to turn off just for a second the expand tolerances so we can kind of see the features and the datums. And now I'm going to turn on the new column, and that's called accessibility analysis. And you can see, I'm just going to open it up a little bit. We now have this probe accessibility column here. So to invoke the accessibility analysis, we're just going to go to the measure ribbon, to the programming automation, and we're going to select accessibility analysis. Now, looking at it in the graphics screen, it almost looks like it's doing a simulation, except the probe's going through the part. But you'll notice over on the right-hand side, in the programming browser, Checkmate is determining which are the best probe positions to use for the features. You can see up at the top it's position 1, then it goes down position 3, 2, 3, 1, 31, and now it's finished. So again, the program hasn't changed. It's still in the same order. There's no more probe moves or anything like that added to it. All we did was perform an analysis of which probe angles positions are the best to use for these features.